Pretty soon I will unlock my Genesis weapon, but up until about 2 months ago I still thought it was impossible. So, what changed? Let me explain. Two months ago, I just hit level 275, and I was about to get to work on my new familiars because of the new revamp. And you guys know what happened next. Nexon disabled familiars, so I was stuck with nothing left to do in terms of progression. I was stuck because my next Genesis quest at the time was Commander Will, and it was impossible to solo that boss due to line limitations. My DPS wasn't enough for phase 3. Now, of course, soloing Hard Lucid would have been a problem as well, so I had 2 impossible challenges ahead of me. But little did I know that Hayato had a secret technique that could give me enough lines to do both. And let me show you right now. Okay, let me give you some information first. How many lines can Rai Blade Flash do per second? 10.7. Now, how many lines can Shinsoku do per second on average? 14.5. Alright, what about Rai Sanrenzan? Anywhere from 16 to 22 lines per second. I'll explain soon why there's such a huge variation in the amount of lines that Sanrenzan can do, but first let me tell you how to properly use Sanrenzan for DPSing to get the most out of it. This skill has 3 different slashes in one skill, and if you hold down the skill key, it will cycle through the first hit, the second hit, and then the third hit, and then it goes back to the first hit and repeats. But the third hit has a long delay animation, so it is very slow and clunky. So what we want to do is we only want the first and the second slashes. And it's really quite simple in concept. It's not difficult to understand at all. All you have to do is double tap the skill key and then pause, and then double tap again, pause. You have to have the pause in between, because if you do a triple tap or if you do another double tap too quickly, you will get the third slash and then it will mess up your combo. So what you see on screen right now is me trying to do the 1-2 skip combo. 1-2 skip, 1-2 skip, 1-2 skip. Also, the skip is like 1/5 of a second, so it's fractions of a second. You don't really have to pause for a long time at all, but you have to have the pause though. You can't just spam tap the key. Try it for yourself. You'll see. I think I got like 730 something lines in 40 seconds in this recording. So it's not bad, but you can definitely do better. But let me tell you about 2 things that you can do to improve your line count for Rai Sanrenzan. The first one is that you can get the attack speed inner ability, because don't forget, quick stance gave us 1 attack speed that we don't have now because we're not in quick stance. Now the other thing was actually discovered by another Hayato player. Basically, don't forget that your normal attack hotkey is actually Rai Sanrenzan, but you also have the actual skill key for Rai Sanrenzan. So if you use those 2 keys, you are basically double tapping Rai Sanrenzan. So all you have to do is hit those 2 keys at the same time and it will count as a double tap. The normal attack key and the actual Rai Sanrenzan skill key. And this will actually save your fingers. It really will. By using this double key technique and also getting max attack speed, I was able to get around 800 lines in 40 seconds quite consistently. And I think my high score was around 850, so that's where the big variation in line count comes from. It's just your own execution of this combo. So you might get anywhere from like a low of like 650 lines up to like 850 lines. It just depends on how well you execute the 1-2 skip combo and like how little of a skip time that you can get without triggering the third slash, because you literally just skip for fractions of a second, and not everyone can do that consistently. So like right here I got, I believe it was 802 lines in total, but there's also this one where I got 798, 797 and 803 lines. So around 800 lines, I think it's very, very possible. Now, for my Genesis H Lucid run, I actually only did 728 lines, I think, within 37 seconds. So it's like, and I still had a lot of leeway too, and I made some mistakes as well. So it's not like you have to be perfect for it to work. That's the good part, you know. Since they just nerfed Lucid's HP during the Rise patch, it's very possible now for me, or for any other strong Hayatos, to try and solo it. Full video for the Lucid run and also Varus Hilla solo will be up soon, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, this is quite a revelation that like this skill basically made the Genesis weapon possible for this class, but it's not like a cakewalk or anything, you know. You guys, if you haven't watched my Hardwell solo yet, you should probably take a look and see how close that phase 3 was, even with the extra DPS. I think it just makes the fight borderline possible, and for Hard Lucid, I think it's definitely kind of a cakewalk now after the HP nerfs, but you know, you still have to perform. But basically, if you're strong enough to use Shinsoku over Rai Blade, you're also strong enough to use Rai Sanrenzan, and so that kind of makes Shinsoku like pointless, unless there are certain bosses where it's actually like a niche thing that like it's actually useful. I personally like using Shinsoku for Varus Hilla, because you can move while using the Hurricane kind of skill, and I think it's very nice just for that. But if you're strong enough, you can probably try using Sanrenzan and see if you can do it, and you know what, you can push more DPS out of your character. Personally, I would prefer if Nexon would just give us more lines, you know. There is like the balance patch coming up right after Rise, where a lot of GMS classes got more lines specifically for the Genesis kind of quests. So who knows, maybe Sengoku or like Hayato will get more lines, right? So that we don't have to use a weird workaround to do our quests, because like this is the mobbing skill, you know. We're not even using quick stance now, which is supposed to be the bossing stance, and like Rai Blade is supposed to be the main bossing skill, but now things have really turned around. Like now we're not even using the bossing stance for bossing, so it's like broken, you know. The class design is broken. I'm happy that I don't have to wait a long time to unseal my weapon, but you know, this is not the way it should work. But anyways, thanks for listening to me rant again, guys. Thanks for following my journey so far, and stay tuned for more videos. And then once I finally unseal my weapon, probably try to do some flaming, maybe cubing eventually. And then work on familiars later on next month or two. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know if you guys want to watch me play like Adele or whatever. It's an OP class, you know, but I have no idea how it works. Might be fun to try and figure it out as I try and level it, because I need it for my Legion grid. So I don't know if you guys want to see that, but you know. Leave a comment or a question. Leave a like if you like dogs. Leave a dislike if you dislike dogs. And subscribe. Alright. Peace.